Welcome back into the Sports Source, this segment of our program. If only you knew what we were discussing in the break here. This segment of our program brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. If you're looking for a weekend getaway or searching for an affordable vacation not too far from home, visit ParksideCabinRentals.com today. Mountain cabins, cabins by the water, cabins close to Gatlinburg, cabins far away from everybody, big, small, and they've got a lot of new cabins that they've added to their empire. Parkside Cabin Rentals, check them out online. I looked at their website just a couple weeks ago. So many different options. You're going to drive yourself crazy picking the right one that is right for you because they got all the options in the world. ParksideCabinRentals.com. Okay, quick segment here. Neyland Stadium celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. It's Memorial Day, so this is a memorial to Neyland Stadium. And I'll forget as we sign off, so happy Memorial Day. Have a safe one. All right. With the 100th year, I wanted to ask everybody, and like I say, I asked the VFLs this. We taped that show this week. It airs next week. I got their answers. Now I want the media answers, so I'm not going to chime in. My answers will go with them next Sunday when it airs. Best game, I'll start with Chuck. Best game you ever watched or covered at Neyland Stadium, the one that stands out, number one.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much low-hanging fruit, I guess. You know, in '98 at the paper, you know, we kind of rotated visiting team sidebar, and you could go in the locker room at that time and get some better stuff. Arkansas was down on the sidelines at the end of that game, and it was as loud as I've ever heard. I know the Pandemonium Reigns game against Florida obviously was huge, but that Arkansas game and to how it ended, the play that was made, the Billy Rattler play, the fumble, you know, and then Travis Henry, the 7 straight running plays. That game, and then what Tennessee went on to do, by far stands out above all others.
Okay, so the Arkansas game is the one you choose. Jimmy Himes.
I wouldn't go by far. I would take the Florida game. You hadn't beaten Florida in forever. You've got your nemesis, Steve Spurrier, over there, and you end up winning that game. And Chuck and I know both of y'all cover a lot of games at Neyland Stadium. The press box, whenever Florida missed that field goal, shook. I was up there thinking, uh-oh, are we going to make it out of here? That was incredible. To the noise, I think it was the all-time attendance record maybe. If it wasn't, it was close to it. That to me would be number one on my list. I've got one that probably nobody would be thinking about, but that to me is number one.
What's the other one?
My first year covering Tennessee was 1985. Tennessee was playing the number one ranked team in the country, Auburn, Heisman Trophy eventual winner, Bo Jackson. Tennessee leads 31-0 in the third quarter. Tony Robinson just sliced and diced right through them. Bo Jackson took himself out of the game in the fourth quarter. That to me was one of the most exciting games and showed the potential of what that team in 1985
And then the Sports Illustrated cover, the Tennessee Waltz, correct?
With
With
Tony
Robinson on the cover when they were there to put Bo Jackson on the cover.
Rick Riley, who went on to huge fame, wrote that story for Sports Illustrated, and the whole thing, Auburn went to the I formation to feature Bo Jackson more, and the thing was, here's mud in your eye, Bo, Tennessee River mud. Bob.
I will go back the furthest of anybody, 1982, and you beat Alabama for the first time in what was it, 12 years? 11 years?
11, yeah.
11, 12. And I was there. I was a student at the time. I was working at the World's Fair, had taken off, and my boss at the World's Fair was Mike LaSorsa.
Another name.
Who had been
You're turning into Chuck.
who had played over at Tennessee. And he goes, I'm not getting to go to the game. Why should I let you off for you to get to go to the game? And so anyway, it was 1982 and beating Bear Bryant in Alabama after all those years.
I remember the fans. I think there was the one time I was a little boy. My dad, we went down on the field. Everybody charged the field.
And that was a team of guys I'd walked on over there, knew them from there, and plus played against a lot of them in high school. So it was good to see some of those guys get to celebrate.
Your famous line I always laugh at: walked on at UT, walked back off.
Yeah.
That was a great.
Actually, I jogged off.
Very good. Most amazing play or single game performance that we've ever. Oh, I'll throw another game here. And it's funny, the VFLs. It's not all positive. The VFLs, when they do this, we see it next Sunday, there's some negatives in here. I'll throw out a loss that I remember as one of the greatest games I've ever watched over there, though, was the Tennessee-Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Yep, 1990.
That was a spectacular football game.
Yeah.
Just two juggernaut programs at their height. That was great stuff. All right, when we come back, let's talk about great plays, great performances. That's next on the Sports Source.